Yes, she will.
Okay, we were
Poster
live.
day. Poster
Hi,
day.
everybody. Hi. We're live now. Let me see. I'm trying to see where the chat is. To go in and get the chat.
Trying to get the chat on.
Yeah. Let me see. So, hope everybody had a good day. Content. Hi, K-Rox. I saw you when I briefly looked in there. Let me see. Now I can get back in. Okay. Hi, Emmy. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, K-Rox. How's everybody doing? So, everybody knows Rosemarie D'Alessandro up there. And,
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I don't know everybody, but
you don't.
if you
Well, you know
talk-
Evie, you know Al, Chris Rees on the bottom. She came to the prayer group at the end. Margot, you just met from Canada. Sharon from Michigan, you just met, and Bucky Ann. Bucky Ann is in the middle. She's lost a son. She is from Long Island, New York.
Oh, okay. So she was
We
close.
spoke the last time we spoke. I talked to you. You told me about my son.
No, that was Sandy, wasn't it?
No. No?
Really?
Was that a long time ago?
No, I think it was Sandy who said he gave you a big hug.
Oh, yeah. Was that Sandy?
That was Sandy. Yeah,
Oh.
she spoke to Sandy Rizak. Yeah.
I lost her.
No, I don't look like her. I don't bake like her.
You don't bake like her? She's baking
No, I
like
like to
she's.
bake, but I won't bake.
I know she's baking
bakes-
like a crazy
She bakes for the
person.
whole world.
Oh my gosh, she bakes for everybody. Yeah. Yep. She does. That's one of the things that keeps her busy and stuff. That's one of her things to get through grief is just she keeps as busy as possible. She's always busy, baking.
But that's a lot. Busy
Yeah.
making.
Yeah,
cookies.
well, she enjoys cooking and baking so much. I mean, it's such a joy for her. She loves it, and she loves making things for other people.
And just like you do with the shells.
Yeah, the shells and I've been doing a lot of watercolor these days. Here's another watercolor. I just did that today. Just sitting down.
Oh,
It's
oh,
relaxing to me to do the watercolors. Yeah,
pretty colors.
Yeah.
Not beautiful.
See the picture again?
The picture again. Yeah.
It's vivid. It's vivid.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of watercolor. It's relaxing for me. It's what I'm doing to relax these days, in
And what do
between
you do?
the other
What
stuff.
do you do with your pictures? Do you use them?
I have them. I save them. If I have one that I like enough, I'll frame it.
People want to buy them though.
I do.
If you have good colors, because you see, I used to use what you have interior decorator.
Yeah.
So I love all this kind of stuff. If you have like certain color, show me what you have, because I could always, there's just something I'm looking for certain spaces, and I just know when I like it,
Right. Yeah.
That's a good flower. That's a pretty flower.
Yeah. They're very relaxing because the watercolors you can go over them. You can change them, and it's just. I don't know. I get really in a zone when I'm doing it, and I guess it just helps me. That's what I'm concentrating on. So if I'm having a bad day or if I feel upset, that really helps me. Just the painting and doing a Sandy paints too. Yeah, she paints. Like we painted something over the phone. She was teaching me how to paint the lake, and I said, "Oh, this is like so bad, right?" But she said, "Well, Carolyn, you got me into painting again." That was another thing. She got into painting again because she's a good artist too. So.
You know what I work with? I work with charcoal pencils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've done stuff like that.
Do you find that relaxing? And
I find it, but you need time.
Yeah.
You need time.
Yep.
Yeah, I find it, like you said, going into another zone. So creative.
Right.
And it's you focus without even trying to focus.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I found out? I don't know if you guys know, but if you hear piano music, that's very good for your mind. And the violin is more emotional. So if you want to focus, you use the piano. And it's relaxing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before, I remembered this, someone told me this. So I had the Christmas piano music. And it's no words.
Oh yeah, instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was doing like exercises and dancing with it.
Did it start yet?
And yeah,
Oh, you're on?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's John.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, John.
John.
Right. Hi, John. They said hi. So it's like, I'm just saying that helped me like to relax
Right.
and
Right.
to keep energy, to keep energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
Definitely.
anybody play the piano?
I play the piano a little bit, but I don't play like my son can play by ear. He plays, but he doesn't
Wow.
play a lot. Yeah, but he can hear a song and play it by ear. But
Wow.
yeah, piano music can be very relaxing. I
Oh, so
agree.
you have the piano
Yeah.
in your family. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful to play by ear.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
really. My husband plays guitar. Um,
Oh,
My
and you
son
sing.
taught
And you
himself.
sing. Carolyn, you sing.
no, I don't sing.
Sure, she does.
No, you know what you do? You be the poet. You read poems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sing as a joke here on here. Sometimes I'm doing true crime. I'll sing silly songs, but yeah, I'm not a singer.
Oh, so you do sing. Oh.
Just as a joke, not for real.
Well, maybe you're being humble.
No, no, no. Mm-mm. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. But Bucky's an artist. She doesn't have a sign outside her house, but she's an artist too, right? Does that help you? Does that help you in your grief, Bucky? The artwork?
Yes, very much so. I stopped for a long time afterwards, but then I started to go online and find art groups and join challenges and get myself into the world again. And that's how I did it. Painting and drawing, and I started jewelry making and journaling, and I just kept going.
Do you sell your art?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it in the past. Years ago, I used to do portraits and things like
Really?
that.
Lucky, where do you come from?
Long Island.
Oh, see, I'm in Hillsdale, New Jersey. Yeah.
With state buddies.
Yeah.
I stay there.
If you ever have your art on a website, just let me know.
Oh, okay, I will.
Very interested in art. Very, very interested.
I've done tons of
Since I was little, like 4 years
years
old.
ago. I just haven't really done that yet. Get the website and do it.
Oh, you have done. Yeah.
Show her. Do you have your drawing? Your that book that you have? Do you have that handy?
Yeah, on the other side of the room.
Yeah. Show it to her.
We watch her whip up something so fast and so good.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Cynthia from Westwood. How are you?
Westwood, New Jersey?
Yes, Cynthia. Maybe it's a friend of yours, Cynthia Kuchera.
Oh, hi, Cynthia.
Hi,
Cynthia.
Muka.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen you in a long time. Cynthia had a child that died of disease.
Oh, sorry, Cynthia.
Yeah. Cynthia, nice. Westwood, New Jersey.
Let me spotlight you.
Let me see your painting.
Here. I'll make her big for a second here. Let's see.
Oh.
Right, this is called Sunrise Eyes.
Oh. How adorable. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, the sun is in them.
Hi, Rob.
Want to see
This
that?
was one of the challenges we had to do.
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, but in a different form.
Yeah, yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, she's very pretty. Gee, that is good. Buggy is very good. Wow.
This is Snow
Oh.
White,
Oh.
but like more modern day Snow White.
Mm,
The black male.
mm, mm.
She does so good.
This is The Handmaiden. It's a whole story. That's why her hand is invisible. But you have to know the whole story of.
Oh, her hands.
I don't know. She was being kept prisoner, and they chopped her hand off. But then it comes back, magic, something. I don't remember the whole story.
What's the name of that story? What's the name of it?
The Handmaiden.
Okay.
Oh, the Handless Maiden.
The handless maiden.
Yeah.
Oh, the Handless Maiden.
These were all classes I took. And then this was obviously Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. But when I did the Wolf, I wanted it to look more like a dog.
Really? Like nice, a little bit nice?
It
Yeah.
didn't look. I don't know.
He doesn't look as scary as a wolf. He looks a little friendlier.
Yeah,
That's so
but I figured that in that
she has the blonde hair.
Tinkerbell.
Well,
Yeah.
what's this one? Oh, Jack and the Beanstalk. But these were
Oh, you could be. Are you an illustrator for children's books?
no,
Huh?
not really.
But well, maybe someday you could illustrate a book, for children.
Yeah. Now this was from I think the teacher was the art Sherpa, Cinnamon Cooney. This was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Well, then we had to do something. The Queen from Lord of the Rings. What's her name?
I don't know.
Galadriel.
Was that hard to do? That one?
No. That was
No.
fairly easy. Only because I could do it out of my head, like
Yeah.
not this.
This one has a lot to it.
This wasn't a class. This was just one I did on my own.
Why did you put the tree in the back? What was the reason for the tree in the back?
I don't know.
Oh,
It was just an open space, and I had to fill it.
I see. I see.
And this one was.
I think it's interesting that you put the tree there.
Well, because
Mm.
Pocahontas didn't actually have pretty beaded clothes and dresses, like dressed more like this. Then I put the beads and the feathers discreetly.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was supposed to be the ugly duckling that turned into the swan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Bucky. Bucky, you're good. You're
Yes,
amazing.
yes, two scooter.
You're amazing with this work.
Then we had to do a plot of the Queen of Hearts and Alice in Wonderland.
I love you.
Amazing.
How you interpret it? You interpret very, very, like, it makes you think of another way the character could look.
Right. Instead of like the Walt Disney versions, we had to do it in our own way. And then this one was the Panther Girl. Just somebody.
Beautiful.
Challenging part was just the lace, doing the lace on the bottom with the paint.
Look at her. Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, Bucky, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Beautiful. It's really beautiful. I hope that more people could see it. Like you get it in like one of those, those art galleries.
Right, right.
We have one now in town, close by. You can go in that. You could get in touch with me too.
Yeah,
Rosemary.
That'd be great, Bucky.
yeah.
It is beautiful.
Alan,
Hey,
please
look
give
at
You
her.
have,
Oh.
you have a talent.
My teacher. Right. I actually had a paint hanging up in the walls of 1981 Olympics, I think.
Yeah. 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 Tell me something. Do you mind saying, because tonight we hear, like, Carolyn had this great idea, to maybe Rosemarie want to talk about grief, but, we just also hang out. And, and then so I got back to her and I said, yeah. I said, I think it's good to do. And especially now that I wrote the book, and there are 4 parts in the book, I talk about grief at the beginning, kind of middle, and towards the end. And I was just wondering, like with you, like how did your grief start? Like, what happened?
Well,
If you want to talk about it.
no, yeah, I'm fine.
Because I really think I want to see how you express it in your art, Like, I'm just thinking, But even
obviously, in the beginning, I didn't do anything. I actually didn't even get out of bed for the first 3 months. And then my family started pushing me. They said, you have to get up, you have to start. And I just kept saying, leave me alone. I don't want to do anything. But I saw that it was affecting my youngest son. And I felt that
how old?
he was 21 at the time, but
Okay.
he had suffered brain damage as an infant, so mentally he was only like 8 years old.
I
So
see.
that it was
I
affecting,
see.
he was getting very. So I didn't want him to go through his life suffering because his mother wasn't there for him. So, plastered the smile and I play pretend and everything's happy, and that's how it first started. And then that's when I decided, I said, I have to do something. So I went into, it was actually my son's bedroom, and I started setting up art stuff, and that's where I first started. I felt closer to him there, and I set up all my art stuff, and I would go in there and I just started drawing.
And you never did art before?
Yeah, I used to do art years and years before, but
Okay.
I don't know. Once I got married and had kids, there was no time, and I just
Yeah.
So
How many
people would buy me
children?
art supplies. I'd be like, oh, thank you, but like I never really touched it.
How many children do you have? And
Yeah.
also counting the one that's in heaven.
3 total.
3.
Yes, I have my son he's still with me. He's 28 now. Mentally he's still like 9 or 10, I guess. Then I have a 38-year-old daughter who's about to give birth to her first baby.
Oh, boy.
That's nice. She's gonna have a boy.
Oh,
Look to
wow.
being a grandmother. That gave me that little extra oomph that I've needed.
Wow. And when does she do?
She's a teacher.
No, when does
And
she
when
do?
When
Oh,
is
when did she do? February 7th.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful month.
She's gonna
And then the child who like left this earth and went to eternal place. How old would he have been, or she?
He would have been 33 now.
Oh, okay. So he was the middle.
Yeah, he passed at 26. I actually have him right here. Well, he's all over my room, but this one's an ornament. He was actually reaching for an ornament on the Christmas tree.
Yeah. This one? And then?
It was he was reaching for an ornament.
Oh.
I don't know which one, but just the way he looked, I picked up my camera quickly and took a picture. And this is probably the last time I took a picture. This was probably the Christmas before, because he passed on December 1st in 2016, so he wasn't here for the Christmas of 2016.
Was it sudden? Was it sudden?
No, he was actually in a coma for 2 months. He had gotten a lung infection, and it traveled through his body, and then it traveled up into his brain. And I took him to the hospital, but they didn't do a blood test. So they didn't know he had an infection. They just said it was a muscle strain, and they gave him the naproxen. And then 2 weeks later, a little graphic, but his eye popped out, and that's how we knew the infection had traveled to his brain. By the hospital, within 20 minutes, they said, we have to put him under because both his lungs collapsed and he wasn't able to breathe. And that was it. I just, the last thing I kept saying to him was, because he was afraid to have them put him to sleep. I was like, don't worry, it'll just be till your lungs heal, and then you'll be okay.
What's his name?
Anthony.
Anthony?
That was my name.
Beautiful name. So you have a lot like of, I mean, you're dealing with these people that were responsible. You know, this is a system of doing that, and that's a big thing to have in your head. To deal
I
with.
know when he was in the hospital, I kept asking them for the paperwork from when he was in the hospital 2 weeks earlier when I took him to the emergency room. And they said they had lost the paperwork, which I said, I don't understand how do you lose that paperwork when it's on a computer. But a girl that I knew worked at the hospital. She actually snuck into the system and got the paperwork for me. And that's when I saw that they hadn't done a blood test to see if he had an infection.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
When
Are
I found out,
you?
I was
Do
upset.
you? Did
What?
you? You could sue there, right?
Had I done it in time, probably, but I waited too long. 'Cause there's a three-year limit to the statute of
Oh shoot. Oh,
limitations. So
yeah.
I had,
Yeah. Do you know, like in New Jersey, like when my daughter, she died, you'd have 2 year statute of limitation to sue for like, murder and what happens or assault. And so, who's thinking, right, of suing the first 2 years? Who's
the
this?
first 2 years, so
I
out
mean,
of
you say money can't bring, like, you couldn't bring your boy back, money couldn't bring Joe back. So that's all I was thinking. So meanwhile, the 2 year statute, like passed. So then in the movement that was started and that, all of us came together and unified, we got the law in New Jersey that says there's no more statute of limitation. So I'm wondering if you can do something in your boy's name in New York State
in
for these kind of cases. Yes, no statute of limitation. And then since it's New York, and I know that like we got the first mandatory sentencing law in New York, which is no parole for people that assault and murder children.
Paula's Law, right? Is it Paula's Law?
No, Paula's Law is going to be the expansion,
Okay.
and we'll start working with that in January.
Okay.
But this one is under 14, because children means under 14, that's just technical. So I'm wondering if you could do something there, and if you go on Jones Joy website, it'll start to give you an idea of how to do a law. Because I started from scratch, grassroots.
right.
So it's very practical, simple, and but you really have to. There's one thing that if you really believe it, you'll never stop. And you can do this and make a difference. Because I'm going to tell you, gosh, that's terrible. That is be so unjust, So then you could, it could be justice for people like you and other people. You see? So if you ever needed like thoughts about that, I could, like I say, okay, go tell him this. Don't take a no. This is what you do. You do it this way. Show him your art. Well, just saying, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would be a great idea. I never
Because
thought of
you see, everyone, one of the ways, like, talking to all of you that have, some big, grieving going on in your heart, and even if it's a little, whatever it is, or just doing it for humanity, for society, there's a lot of things that we could do to change things in this world, right? And we could do it because the inspiration is our child.
Right.
See, our child. And then our child, I'm going to tell you, if I, sometimes like I have to hear things about what happened to Joan. And I go, oh my God, if I didn't do what I did in her name and let her just leave her in a cemetery, I said, I don't know if I'd go crazy, you know? You know what I mean? I just being dramatic, but there wouldn't be that sense of life. So even if, like, your child has died, yes, they can go on with what spirit you bring out into the world to help you. It's going to help you. Definitely it's going to help Anthony. It's going to help, like all the others, like have their children, Lauren, there's Deborah, and so forth. And there's, Carolyn, what's your boy's name again?
Raymond, Ray.
There's a Ray, it goes on. And they live on.
Mm-hmm.
But their life is changing society. So they're really not dead.
Right.
So I think each one of you, no matter how it happened, can pick something up there. Because there's millions of ways that society needs help. And then there's your baby. He's doing this, and this is what you're doing. And then you're thinking of all these ways of life. Because I'm telling you, that gave me life. And you'll see in the book that I wrote, and it happened 20 years later when I got the sign, when the killer came up and if you didn't fight, he was going to come out. So then I knew that was the sign.
Right.
Movement was going to start, we were going to start to change things.
Right.
And it took 20 years. But meanwhile, everybody, see, I'm going to tell you how I can help. And Cynthia, Cynthia, you listen, right? It's like, the way I did it was, we all have, I hope everybody has something that gives them spiritual strength. Whatever way it is. With me, it was through my faith. So Holy Thursday, Easter, are the day she was killed, the day she was found on Easter, and then taking Joan, okay? 3 things. I saw that was something there that was beyond. So I knew there was some kind of work I had to do from that. On Holy Thursday, she dies. She's found on Easter up in the mountains, and then knowing Joan. Okay, you got these 3. So what happened was, it didn't happen right away. I started feeling, but it was pretty soon, it was 2 weeks after. I said, those days. So it kept staying in my mind. And then in my head, I started looking for signs.
Right.
So I'm looking for signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every day you're looking for a sign. Oh, I'm looking for a sign. So I have something good to look for, something to look forward to. Not all the sadness, right? So it helped not to have the sadness so strong forever.
Right.
But those first 3 months, I couldn't listen to the radio. It was like torture. So, I completely, you did it like with bed. And so I'm just saying that's what helped me. And it's just maybe, you could maybe see if any of those parts could help you. Because staying in the sadness, I know that sadness, and I know that sadness on April 19th, the day she was, murdered. That day is hard. But it's not all hard. It's not like the beginning. It's like parts of the hard. Especially maybe a couple of days before that, right? Anticipation, right?
Yeah.
Anticipation, everybody, right? So, it was like, it's just, because you see, we need, as human beings, going through, this major loss in all different ways is such pain for a mom that really loves their child, right? A mom. And here it is, we could just stay there or we can find a way to get out of that. But still, you always have some kind of that pain a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay, because that's, it's almost like that's why you're giving the kid attention. It's a little bit weird pain. No, it's like saying in a silly way, but there's healthy pain and there's unhealthy pain. And, if I could only make you understand, to start to get out of that thing. It's like, all this control, it controlled you. Your childhood, look at what happened to you with the hospital. That they controlled your life there with this badness. But now, we can control our lives, right? We control this. And then, see, I didn't want the killer to control my life. Every case is different. So there was this killer, he was a neighbor across the street. And he was a teacher. And no, he controlled my life too much already. Oh no, you're not going to control it anymore. So I don't know what gives you strength, each of you that's listening, but I know there are 8 ways that I get strength, and one of them is I would not let him control me anymore. Okay, so maybe that's something, and then you have to fight it. You fight. Oh no. So you're all fighters. Look at you. Look what you. I can see in your face. I could feel your voice. So that's what I'm saying about Now talk to Bucky, and I was wondering, is Cynthia? Are you there, Cynthia?
She's in the chat, and Two Scooters sends her love. She's in the chat, and then K Rock said she has the book and she's going to leave a review. Cynthia said you're an inspiration. She's in the chat.
Okay, Cynthia is a very, very warm person, very, very giving, and that's what I got from her. She came to one of our parties, our Christmas parties, and she came just now to our fest, because we have the Child Fest. Maybe you could come, Bucky, to the Child Fest.
Where is
September. Yeah. If you could go to jonesjoy.org, you'll find my email and send me yours. Only if if that's something, I don't want any of you to feel that I'm pushing you or that I'm going to be offended. No, I'm like that. Just do what you're comfortable with, but don't get too comfortable. Do the hard thing too.
Okay, yeah.
Here's the book, guys. Here's the book. See? And I could tell you, I told you about some of the grief, but I want to hear what each person has.
We've read some of it together. And
about the grief part. Did you read?
I'll tell you where I am in the book. Ow, shoot! I'm up to page 211.
211? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, letter 2 has grief. Letter 3 has grief. Letter 42 has grief. Letter, I think there was 288 has grief. And I think 248.
Wow,
okay?
You remember them just like that? Wow.
No, but you know why? No. Leave it to archivist John.
Mm-hmm.
He went through and found it. And he gave it to me on paper.
Oh, okay.
So he's the one. All I do is read. So then you'll see the grief. The first one had to do with I would talk to anybody I could, and nobody was listening. So I would just talk, and then if somebody would, that's the way I had to do. And then I remember, see, but I don't want you to feel sad, because you see the book has the dark, but it has the hope, okay? And the hope triumphs in this book. So, and here she, and then, so that was, and family, nothing. And, and you'll see the things, like I parallel my life to when he was in prison complaining about, that he had a little something hurting, like his shoulder. And and no, but you see the mind, you'll see very, very interesting to see, how, and it's also good because you see how evil works, in this, how evil works in people. And this is the worst evil. So, it's different than you think. It's different. It's very, very tricky. Very, very tricky the way this one is doing. But anyway, so in the second one, like the three, I go into that part that, oh gosh, when I came back from the cemetery, oh my God. And I'm sure all of you can understand some of this. And I knew life completely changed at that point so much. And all the people that said they were going to come over never came over. I never even had a dish of meatballs brought to me. It was like, you're alone. I was alone. And I remember, this is also family, not even very, except like my mother and father were doing certain things. So anyway, so what happened was, then I said, I said, God is my psychiatrist. And he became my psychiatrist. And then I developed even a stronger relationship with the Spirit of God. But not like, all like, like you think you're perfect and you think you're self-righteous. No. Just, I knew that, how could I be so strong at that time? It had to be him. You see? Yeah, that's it. Because I couldn't do it alone. I could not do it alone. And then in the 42nd is about the grotto, and that's when, that was very good therapy. We got a lot of money. We built the grotto on the church grounds.
Right.
And then what we did with the grotto was like the Blessed Mother, Our Lady of Lourdes, and the bottom part has a plaque, the Jones picture, and it's a place that's open 24/7. People could go anytime. And people in their years, they were leaving baseball gloves there, they were leaving cigarettes there, they were leaving all kinds of things, like prayers to St. Jude, their family that had died. They went there, like, for some peace. But that took 15 months, and I started working on that, like, say, the next year, in 74, and it was finished, I remember, July 12th, 1975. And during that time, that's a hard time, right? At the beginning, it's very hard. So I realized I didn't think that was good. I wasn't thinking, I'm doing this with therapy. But I found out that was very good. So here it was, we're building this grotto, and it has Joan's picture on it, the Blessed Mother, and people could go to it, either for sickness, whatever. And that gave me help. That was very, very therapeutic, but it wasn't planned to be therapeutic. So then that brings me up to 75, right? Joan dies in 73.
Mm-hmm.
And in most cases with grief, the first 2 years are the hardest. And they're hard. And then depending upon, the circumstances, it might be a little more than that, but the first 2 years, that's almost like in social work, that's almost like a given, okay? So that brought me to over 2 years, you see? So I'm just saying that's mine. I found out by coincidence. You might want to do something like that. You could do it like, say, through a garden. You could do it through like playground. You could do depending upon what your child liked a lot, you know. So there's even that way. Okay. Now the other part of grief, was like, pain, like pain that other people give you. I mean, this is family. It's like a holiday, and April 19th is always around Easter, and I'm so excited. I'm talking about, the grotto, and remember, these family members never ever even asked me how I was feeling since Joan died. Never asked me how's her. Okay, It's like Joan didn't. And I'm talking about it. Oh my God! And I'm sure you had swords go through you, but it was such a sword. These were relatives on D'Alessandro's side, and the man and the lady just got up and just went out the window. And I'm talking about it the way I'm talking about it now. I'm not crying or making a big deal. That's what they did.
Yeah.
I says, my God, when is this going to get easy? Right?
Yeah.
Right? That was. Whoa.
And sometimes it can be the opposite way. It can be they want to talk and you don't want to talk. Have you ever had that? That you just don't want to talk?
No,
about?
I would always want to.
In the beginning, I didn't want to.
At the beginning, nobody was talking to me anyway. They stayed away. You have a child that's murdered, sexually assaulted, all of a sudden you're all brownie, lemon cookies. Well, society changes because of this, right? Everything became more vigilant. They stayed away from you because it's very painful for them. Okay, it's painful.
Right.
But then they could have, it's easier. It's easier.
Well, maybe that's why, like I said, like I would have my husband or somebody go and just say, okay, like if my aunt came up to visit or something, I wanted to visit with my aunt, but I just didn't want to talk about the loss. So they'd say, Carolyn's coming over, but she doesn't really want to talk, but we would talk about everything else. You know what I mean? Because I didn't, yes, because I didn't want to talk about it. It was too fresh. I didn't want to get very upset. I was seeing my aunt. I love to see my aunt, and talk. I just didn't want to be, I didn't want to do that because I knew I would get very upset and,
So what's wrong with getting upset?
I don't know. I guess I didn't want to put a burden. It's probably in my head. I didn't want to be like a burden or make them feel bad or, I just wanted to talk about things like normal. So I don't know. I guess I didn't want to be a drag, be somebody that's crying or something like, I don't know. I just didn't want to be,
Think about it though. Think about it, Karen. What was your reason?
I think that's what it probably was. Yeah, I think it was. Cynthia wants to come on. I'm going to give her the number. But yeah, I just think that it was.
Carolyn, think about it. Just all the things you're saying now, okay, are not really reasons. I mean, I'm not telling you, I'm shushing, but
it hurt. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk about it. It hurt me too.
It logically.
It hurt. It hurt me
too much.
You were
afraid, and yet you were afraid that maybe you'd cry and you'd never stop crying, right?
Right, and it hurt too much. The pain's too much. I don't want to talk about it. It's too painful. I don't want to go there. I'd rather talk about other things.
Did he ever talk to you later when you healed? That you were healing, like you healed.
Yeah, but I still like.
What?
I don't want to yes, and I mean I'll talk about things, his life and stuff, but I don't want to get into like the oh, how are you doing? Like, oh my gosh, that must be so bad. You must be so, I don't want, I don't know.
I know, but
I don't
you
want
have
people
to-
feeling like sorry, like I don't know. I can't even explain it.
Well, it's all right that they feel sorry for you.
Yeah, but like I guess I grew up with this. Yeah, I don't know. I just want everything to be good, like everything to be okay. That's how I am. I'm a little bit of a pleaser. I just want everything to be all right. Like it's, I don't know.
I was with the pity.
Carolyn, think about it a lot. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Oh no,
And
I
think
can,
of yourself. Think of yourself first with it, okay?
right.
Just take that scenario,
I
and
grew up with this.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want everything to be good, like everything to be okay.
I think,
Cynthia, you have to just stop your YouTube.
But it
message.
wasn't up to you.
Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Carolyn,
I just want to tell Cynthia, I just muted you because you have to shut your YouTube because it's playing. So if you just shut your YouTube, then you won't hear the echo. Hi, nice to meet you.
you know what to do. Bucky, I'm gonna go small. Carolyn, make it smaller so I can see everybody.
What? Okay. It should be small. You should be able
No,
to.
but mine is very big.
I'll fix it.
Oh,
Oh, here comes
Yeah.
my boy.
The view.
Okay, all right. Okay. Carolyn,
Mhm.
it's good that we talked about this,
right.
and maybe I think there's more to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like she's older. My aunt is she's in her 90s, but she still drives and everything. She reminds me a lot like you, but I don't know. I would just talk to her maybe because
No, I
she
don't
was my
drive. I haven't driven since.
yeah no. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like she's very sharp and does a lot of stuff. But here's the thing. I think could be also.
And I'm not in my 90s.
I know you're not, but my aunt looks amazing. My aunt still swims. She's crazy. Looks great. She's not. Yeah, I mean, it's just
And
amazing.
you call them, what you call us super ages.
So yeah, and she's always ashamed of her age, and I go like this: you own that, girl. You look great. You better just say what you are. And I made her a birthday cake this year, and she says, I haven't had a birthday cake in 10 years. And I said, are you kidding? Well, she loved this birthday. This birthday cake was like everything to her, that I made this birthday cake. She couldn't believe it. But but I guess and another way, it was probably maybe selfish on my part that I just wanted things to be the way they were. Like maybe I was in denial. Like if I don't talk about it, I'll be in denial. We can have a nice visit, and I don't have to go on that part of it. And so yeah. Because it was too painful, I think a lot of it probably was that. And I know my sister-in-law told me a long time ago, right? Her mother died. And when we all went after the wake, she said, "I'm good. Just don't give me sympathy." And that's true. It's like when people come to you and tell you how sorry they are, you lose it. You fall apart, right? If people are just talking to you and stuff, like she was like, I'm fine. She was doing everything with like the after the wake, getting, like she was fine. And they said, oh gosh, you're doing really well. And she said, I'm doing really well. Just don't come and give me sympathy. So she didn't want the sympathy. And I know what she means, because sometimes if people just start to give you sympathy and tell
Are you talking about genuine sympathy?
Yeah,
Or
yes.
Are you talking about like fake sympathy?
No, she's talking about if somebody says, oh, your mother died. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so this. I can't believe you lost her. She was such a great one. She didn't want to hear that. She just wanted you to talk to her like normal. Just don't give me sympathy. I won't fall apart. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want the sympathy.
Defense.
See, I can understand that. I'm a lot the same way. Like, she was able, everybody was saying, you're doing really well. And she's like, I am. Just don't come and give me sympathy.
Yeah, but Carolyn.
Yeah.
If you have to figure it out, but I think you're getting there. You understand it all. And you understand about her too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see what your real intention is.
Right.
You have to look into what's your intention. You see, is your intention, is this really the way it is? Or am I doing that because I never want to really deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you really deal with something, you know what happens? You know what happens?
What?
You're freed.
Mm-hmm.
You're freed. Yeah. Yeah. And dealing with something right now, you're dealing with it by sharing these feelings and understanding about yourself. And then you bring this example of another person. But the thing is, are we really dealing with it? That's the main part. Are we really in time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Or are we starting to deal with it, or are we going the opposite way and not dealing with it and never dealing with it throughout our life?
Right.
So when you deal with something, I mean, we know that even with other areas of life. When you deal with something, right? You teach your children, you deal with that situation. You go to your friend, you tell your friend, you don't like what they said to you. And, and you deal with it and you communicate. That's dealing, right?
Right.
So that's what I found out. I found out that, but then we all have different personalities too. So for some, the personality, it's more natural to be that way. Others are more reserved. It's going to be part of it. You do it in your own way. In your own way. You don't do it
Right.
like.
Yeah, well, I mean, like grief counselor, the first thing they say is you're not accountable to anyone for your grief. Everyone grieves differently. Anything is normal for you. If it's normal for you, if you want to scream in your car, you go scream in your car. Don't have somebody tell you. I actually had somebody tell me, listen to this, Rosemary. I said, like right after Ray died, and I was going and making funeral arrangements and driving on this road. I said I screamed in my car, and I had this woman come in and yell at me. So I shouldn't be yelling in my car.
She heard you?
No, she just heard me say it, and she goes, why would you do that? There's something wrong with you that you did that. And
Hardest place to scream, on the top of your lungs. And
I know. And she goes, why would you do that? Like that, you're out of control if you went in your car and screamed.
No,
it's
you're
only
not.
screaming.
I know, like I know. I mean, but the grief counselor told me, she's like, you're not accountable to anybody. If you feel like going in your car and screaming 10 times a day, go in your car and scream if you want.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of times those counselors, okay, they have educational and they work through theory. But a lot of times, like what you're doing now with the group, and you talk together and all. These are the educators,
right?
The persons that have gone through.
Yeah.
You see, those others theory.
Yeah.
I asked one of my counselors. I was like, "Have you ever lost a child?" And she just looked at me and she said, "No." I said, "So then, I know you're helping me on a philosophical way, but you really don't understand what I feel like." And she was like, "No, that's true." That's when I joined a bereavement group, because everybody in the bereavement group has a child. So there were 20 of us in one room, and it just made it easier, because no matter what you said, like, well, this is what I did the day of it. This is what I did the day after. And everyone had a little story. We pretty much understood it, and nobody looks at each other and goes, "Oh my God, she did that." Like, nobody thought that way, because we were all telling our own stories, and it was freeing, because we were allowed to be very open and not worried about
Not to be judged.
fully understanding it and then judging you for doing, like, oh, I heard she took a bottle of pills right after. Oh, that's terrible. We didn't feel that. We were like, yeah, no, I understand. We all fully understand what that feeling was like. So.
Yeah.
I got to talk to other people who have gone through it.
Yeah. So it was a good group.
Yeah. I went for.
You had a leader. You had a leader of the group.
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, the two leaders of my group, one had gotten breast cancer, so she had to drop out for a while, and the one, she had hit the 7-year mark, and I don't know. I guess it all came crashing in on her at some point, and she
Oh,
just couldn't handle it anymore. So they brought in a new leader. I just didn't like the new leader's way of doing things. She basically came in, sat down, and talked, and everybody just nobody
listen.
talked. Nobody got
Oh,
the child's name or what happened to them. Whereas the
yeah.
other used to say, "We're going to go around the room. Everybody introduce yourself. Tell us your child's name, what happened to them, how old they were, and if you have any other children." And that's what we would start with. Then you would start talking. But this one, she would just come in and she'd give a subject, and then she'd sit there and talk for 45 minutes about her experience of it. By that time, there wasn't room.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe the talk, and then all right, well, that's it for this week. So after about a year, I was like, and then COVID hit, and I just didn't go back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hi, Cynthia. Did you want to say something?
Hi, Cynthia.
Hello.
I said,
Hi.
Hey, Cynthia.
Carolyn, I think it's great that you screamed in your car. It probably felt wonderful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I just
think-
I laugh about that lady that told me she was just yelling at me on here, telling me I was nuts doing that.
I just did it last week. It's been 7 years, and on the anniversary, I was in my car screaming at every time I stopped at a light. I'd scream and cry, and the light would turn green. I'd quickly wipe my face and then drive, and then I'd get to the next light, punch the steering wheel. It just gets that, and then I was able to
Catharsis.
go home, and I was okay. I could face my other son and be okay.
And I think that's healthy.
Did it at home, scare him.
And I think that's totally healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the subject just terrifies a lot of people. I mean, I know for me, I lost a baby girl back in 1997, and I found out that a dear friend of mine, a lifetime friend, had seen me in the grocery store and ducked to avoid me just because she didn't know what to say. So, yeah, it terrifies people, and they're not doing it in a malicious way. They're just so
Right.
uncomfortable with the subject.
It's crazy that you said a supermarket. I was in a supermarket one day, and my son Anthony came food shopping with me every time I went, to help me with the bags and everything. And I would leave my youngest son home with my oldest daughter, and it was just easier that way. Well, the first time I went into a supermarket after it, which was probably like 6 months later, because I did nothing for the first, for a long time. I got to one aisle, and I had a breakdown right there in the supermarket. I don't mean I didn't fall on the floor or anything. I just stood there crying, and all of a sudden I felt arms wrap around me. And I turned around. My cousin had happened to stop at that supermarket, which she doesn't live anywhere near it, but she just happened to go there. And she said she saw me, and she walked up and she saw what I was going through, and she just came and just hugged me like this. And I looked and I was like, "What are you doing here?" It was like the strangest thing. I haven't seen her since. I've never bumped into her again.
You never saw her again?
Well, I mean, in the supermarket, yeah. Like that, we've never bumped
But
into
that helped you, right? That helped you?
time, yeah.
That wasn't a coincidence.
Right? I know. She just happened to be there. It was so like, what are you doing here? You don't even live in this town. What are you doing here? Isn't this my?
Divine intervention.
Yeah. I needed something at that moment because I was ready to just drop the food right where it was and just walk out the store. I was like, forget it. I don't care if I eat. I'm not getting any. I have to leave right now. But that helped me. I was able to finish and get my food and go home.
When my dad passed away, I went to my girlfriend's house, and he was close to my dad's age, which was 80. He was sitting there, and she could tell me to go say hi to Daddy, so I went in there. And of course, he grabbed my hand, and I thought I was not over my dad, but I thought I was on the way to, being me again without my dad. And when her dad grabbed my hand to say hello to me, my knees gave out, and I had to walk away from him, and I crawled upstairs to my girlfriend's room. Just the feel of his hands made me think so much of my dad. It was the best but the worst feeling. I went up there and told her how lucky she is to have her dad, to love him. Don't be mean to him. You got to take care of him. But when his hands, gentle hands, grabbed me, 80-year-old hands, it just put me on my knees. And then I realized I miss my dad so much more than I thought I did.
Mhm.
But I would never feel an 80-year-old man's hands again.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's you never know when it's going to hit you. As much as you think you got it under control, you never get over it. You never do.
Did
We
you
get
have a
to-
very close relationship with him?
Yeah, I did. He was my person.
He was your person that really was on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said between me and him we can move mountains. He had
Hmm.
faith in me, and of course he spoiled me. I was his only daughter, but we worked good together. And I never thought of life without my dad. I never thought. I remember when I was younger saying, I wish I'd go before my parents go. That's how much I love them. I wouldn't want to see them die.
Mhm.
But of course, that's not how it works normally. In my case, my daughter did. I did have to bury my daughter as well as you did, and the rest of us. But I just can't imagine. I couldn't imagine at that time life without my dad. But
That's how I felt
that
about my mother. And my
this
mother
is how
passed. I
life
was only
is.
28, and my world ended that day. But she told me, "You have to live. You have kids now." And I only had 2 at the time.
Yeah,
Like, you have kids to live for. You have to. Because I said, "Well, how am I gonna?" That's I specific. She had cancer, so we knew it was coming. And I said to her, "How am I supposed to live without you?" And she said, "Because you have to. You're strong, and you have
Mhm.
children to live for."
yeah. You're the mom now.
But she said I was strong. That's what made me strong. I've been strong ever
Mhm.
since I said that.
Mhm.
I was never strong before that. I was a mama's girl, and I put it this way: I hung out with my mother instead of friends. I'd rather
Yeah.
be with my mother. So, yeah, when
Oh, yeah, yeah.
said that's it, my life is over. But she said I was strong, so I had to be strong because she said so.
Oh.
I had wrote the eulogy for my mom, and it said something to the effect of, we knew that she was going to die, so I was prepared for her death. But what I wasn't prepared for was the day after her death, like the day she was gone, and then how do I pick it up and keep going? That's the part I didn't think of. You
Well,
know,
because you're doing the funeral, you're so busy that it's just constant, the wake, the thing, the people, the
Mhm.
go, build
But,
it.
but,
And the day after, it's like, all right, now there's nothing, there's no
yeah, the
busy.
people have gone home and you're there and it's hit you right in the face again.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly how I felt.
but Bucky, I think that's good. Your mother was smart. She was wise. She says you're strong.
I know, and I think each
she
kind of
was,
person, I gotta
she
call
was,
my mother 3
she was
times a day.
hot.
Mom, what are you doing now?
She was hot stuff.
I used to tell her, I said, "Ma, you're my heroine." And she was like, "I'm your hero." I said, "No, no." I said, "Like the drugs, I depend on you." And she was like, "Stop." I said, "I need at least 3 fixes a day, so I have to call you every day 3 times," which I
Yeah,
did. Moved in
yeah,
with her, and while
yeah,
she was sick and everything, but
yeah,
I had to
yeah.
I had to be strong because mommy said
Well,
so.
she said she was. She knew. She knew.
I probably would have fell apart had she not said that to me.
Isn't that
The
something?
whole funeral and everything, and
Yeah,
everyone was
They say the
that's
woman,
something. But
standing.
yeah.
I was like, "Well, my mother told me I was strong, so I have to be."
yeah,
Whatever my parents saw, especially my mother, she wanted whatever she said. I never
She
did
wa-
without
was
thinking,
she?
"Oh, my mother will be upset. I can't do that."
a lot of my friends say, I
All
don't
my
see
friends
how
bitch
you're
like
so strong,
that.
but you have to be. You don't have to choice. When my daughter was born, I had to deal with her because that was my daughter. I was her mother, and strong or not strong, but inside I can tell you I might look strong on the outside, but inside I'm very, very broke. I'm very, very fragile because I've had so much loss in my life. But you have to put on this strong face, and you have to keep marching on for your kids, for your family, for your loved ones, because that's not fair if you don't. That would tell me they're not good enough for me to be strong and deal with this. This is what I've been, the plate of food I've been given, so now I got to eat it. And I don't regret and I don't blame anybody. It's just when my friends tell me, you are so strong, how do you do it? I don't think of it like that. You just do it.
Yeah.
You do it.
Right, but I think some people say I'm not as strong as you, or I'm not strong enough for that. It's a defense mechanism for themselves because I think they think that if like that whole thing, God doesn't give you what you can't handle, right? Or right,
Right.
and then some
Right.
people think like, well, God, why do you think I can handle this, or that because you're a strong person that you were dealt something bad, so or like hard, and bad. But then I think if people say like, "Oh, I'm not strong like that. I'm not weak. I can't take that," then it's almost like they're not. It's not going to happen to them. Like, you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
You
Like, if they
wouldn't
say,
know how
"I
strong
couldn't
you
do
have to
that.
be.
You're very strong. I couldn't do that." Then that's not going to happen to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we
No.
know that's not true. But
That's not
you
true.
will be stronger than you think you are.
I know, but I mean, I think some people do it as a coping mechanism or like a defense, like, oh, well, so and so's really strong, but I'm not that strong. Yeah, I don't know. I think
Because why? Because you think they're saying that so this way
doesn't
they have no-
happen to something doesn't happen to them.
they have no responsibility towards you.
No, towards them. Let's say they go like, "Oh, Bucky, you're so strong. I couldn't handle losing a child or whatever. I don't think I could be strong like you." It's almost like there's it's a defense. Like they're telling God almost, "I'm not as strong as Bucky is. Please, like God will only give you what you can handle." I think
Right.
it's like they're trying to tell God, "I can't handle that. Please
Yeah,
don't give me that." That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well,
At what
this is
point
the way
does
I'll
God
see it.
say I've given you enough? At what
Yeah.
point?
Hmm.
This is the way. I mean, I get this like from the very beginning, and with what I do, with the work I do and all, and a lot of times what I see is when they're saying, "Oh, you are so strong. Look what you do." Okay.
Hmm.
And I hear it and I hear it and I hear it and I hear it. It's almost like you could take care of everything and it's fine. And it's wonderful and I can see what you do. But, don't ask me, to get involved.
Oh,
So that's what I get.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think getting involved is part of the whole healing process too.
Well, no, for the other person,
Right.
is not even, they're going to forget about 5 minutes when they leave you. That kind of thing, because, they just go into their.
I think a lot of people are.
But the point is, that's what I see when they're saying that a lot of times. It's like, thank God you could take care of it. Thank God you're really strong. And, remember, I have a physical disease that takes away my strength and takes away my energy. So, it's very challenging. And I've had that since 19. And I even have breathing problems with it. But it fluctuates. And the thing is that's what I understand. That's what I see, is they're thankful that I'm strong.
So they don't have to help you with that. So they don't have
this
to.
way, like everything's nice.
Yeah. You're doing really good with that. Yeah, you're doing
I'm
great.
Here in bed. I'm here in bed because I was out yesterday speaking, and I'm in bed to be able to get my strength physically because I have this condition. And no, I mean, it's like, but it's never. It's always like when I'm out there, I just, my heart gets out. I love being with the people and everything.
Right.
But it looks like it's nothing. I'm not going to tell you, everybody. It's a lot. But
Right.
yeah, I'm very, even with all that, I feel, life is so full. There's so much in life. And those kind of things, you see, and I think that, with so much, you get more experience with them and you get better with the reaction with it. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And you just know that's the way it's going to be. But the point is like what I would love is that I could get more help,
Right.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
more help. Like, it's not, I'm not this super person.
Right.
I'm a person. Okay, I have the talent, like, I really love connecting with people. I love, I kind of lead, that's another thing that came. What do you think? I'm thinking, oh, I'm a leader. I don't think of it that way. I just do, and then I'm leading. But it's not because, and I don't feel self-importance, you see? And that's the way Joan was too. So because I don't have that, it's good. So I like it because I want to hear what the other person has. I want to hear what they say. I want to get, it's so important that everybody feels their worth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my grandmother taught me. She had that worth for me.
Right.
She saw who I was. So I like to engage with the people that way. And I'm so thankful that as a leader, because I do a lot of different things. I mean, it's like octopus, and it's different kind of life. But I'm so glad that I don't feel that I'm doing these things with self-importance. But yet, as I write in the book, and we all need to have this if we're not going to be controlled by all this stuff, is to have a presence, to have that worth in yourself, to have that confidence. You're doing the art, that's good. Do it more, Show it.
Yeah.
Share it. God wants you to share it.
I do. I do tutorials here. I've taught a
And
lot of people how to
look what you
decoupage.
do. Look what you do, Karen.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the others do.
Look
But
at
the point is, I'm saying, honey, I get it so much because of where I'm at in society. All right? And they think I'm Superwoman. I'm just a human being that stays in bed half of the day to be able to do the things you see me doing, Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes.
Rosemarie,
And-
you can sign me up for anything that I could help you with. I'd be more than happy to help you with anything that I can do from this side.
Yeah.
Sign her up.
I need all right, honey. Yeah, I'll keep in mind. And then, and then we'll share. But the thing is, and just give me an email, honey.
Sometimes when you love someone,
I'm just saying that I could get what you're talking about, and people are saying that to you, and I think each case is different when people are saying to you, you're so strong.
Right.
And what in your case, Caroline, I think it's a little bit, yeah, to get off the hook.
Yeah.
Get off.
sometimes when you lost someone that lost a child, you think that it's so horrific and you feel so helpless. You want to help somehow, but you know that it's like impossible. So all that you think you can do is talk to them and give them your ear.
Well, that's a very special thing. That's very good, especially when it first starts. That's what you really need in order to sort out your mind. Because, as we all know, our minds are, just woof. Meanwhile, we even have other children in certain cases, and it's a lot all at once. So the talking helps our minds to get clear, and then we start to get clear, and we start to get more down to earth. You see? So that's a wonderful thing to do. And if you'll see, I mean, I can't explain to you, like in the book, I mean, we talk about domestic violence, we talk about sexual assault, we talk about the Girl Scouts, we talk about the students that were left, the students at the school and what the school did. There's all different kinds of areas. We talk about hate, we talk about forgiveness, I talk about all this stuff. And in it, it could be overwhelming for the person to read it, but you could take it like one story at a time. You take one letter and then you take the parallel, if there's a parallel. And you take one story at a time. But then, see, there's always a general picture. In my head, that's what I always think, the general picture. It's not about one specific thing and making that a general picture. The general picture is many parts. So a general picture is like what we're talking about now, right? Like this is grief. So the general picture is every single one of us here. I don't know all your stories, but you know, I feel your stories and I have compassion for your stories. And all these stories are part of the general picture of grief, right? Of what we're doing tonight. So what happens with the general picture in my head, you'll see, you take the book, general picture. It's not just about the murder. There's other parts that develop most of it, that are part of the picture. And that's how I got to hope. I mean, hope was there, but that's how I got to the point that I was at. But it didn't happen just like, it just doesn't happen. You know, you work hard. You never give up, right? And you make mistakes. And then you really make mistakes. And then you get up again, right? And you'll see that because I was even like a victim of domestic violence. And this was by my estranged husband. And you'll see that in the book. And you'll see parts about like the person that gave us the letters. It's crazy stuff. You don't even feel like you're in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, the person that gave the pen, that gave me the letters, I did not know he was a pedophile.
Right. Yeah, I know. And
And
then he had a police standoff, right? And then he was killed.
Yeah.
And
they were looking for him in 29 states. 29 states.
Wow.
2 years. Because he was going after the young kids, like 13 or so, through the internet and through their parents. And this person came and gave me all the letters. Right?
Yeah,
He's
those letters.
In my house.
Yep.
In my house.
And a whole bunch of slippers, you said, in the car or something, right?
Yeah, well, he came and he brought because his mother had died, and he had found these letters. And at that time, we were fighting to keep the killer in prison. We needed more information. So with the new information, that was good. We had letters. I gave them to the parole board, and I made copies for myself. But I gave him the real ones. Right now, I have the real ones. We've got them back. You know, everybody, I never would have written a book. So here it is. You have all this background. You get these letters. You get these letters. At the beginning, I couldn't even touch them. Couldn't touch them, you know? And now, I mean, I'm reading them again, you know, to get in touch with the book that I wrote. Because when you write a book, you're not in touch with the whole picture. It's part by part by part, in a way. So I'm just telling you that this stuff, it's like you work like you're in a thriller. I was living like in a thriller with everything that is like this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, you'll see, I mean, I almost lost my life. A few days before the vigil, which started the movement, you know, by being choked. I knew it was to feel choked. I was going to die.
Wow.
Imagine if I died. There was Michael and John.
Right.
They were 13, 11. 1.5. Right? So, and then they would have to go with the, at that time, this was like 30 years ago, they would have to go like with a father that would be abusing.
Right.
Even sexually. Yeah. That's what he did.
Wow.
So I had to, you'll see all the things I had to do to separate and watch and everything. Meanwhile, I have 9 senior brothers. Meanwhile, trying to keep the killer in prison, trying to survive. And I said, God was my psychiatrist, the helper, everything. But I still believed that how I survived that choking, there were marks on my neck for about 11 minutes. After that, how I survived it is I looked him straight in the face. And remember you said like your legs were shaking that time when you shook hands, with
Oh,
this.
Evie with, yeah.
Yeah, right. And my legs were shaking, but my eyes I just stared at him. I looked him straight in the eye, and I didn't flinch because if I was going to move, he was going to go all the way. And then he took his hands away because he saw I wasn't afraid, but I was afraid. My legs were shaking,
Right.
but yet I had the strength to do this because I knew that, see, God knew I had all this work to do, and there was Michael and John. He didn't want them to go into that. They had enough.
Right.
That's what happened. So I'm just telling you, the book might help you not say, I'm this, I'm a person like you, and I feel for your pain, and, I feel for you. I just feel for you. I love you. So the thing is, this could help you see that what did this one person do? What did a Rosemarie do in this kind of case?
Mm-hmm.
And then what did she do with that? What did she do with that? And you'll see. And then you can pick up the parts that you think are good for you. Or maybe there might not be parts that are good for you, but I really do hope so. Because hope in this world is very necessary for all of us to make a difference.
Right.
You see?
Okay.
And if you stay in your darkness too much, everybody, you're not going to be able to make a difference with your talents and your gifts for society, which is positive.
Mm-hmm.
Staying in the hole is not all positive, you see?
Right.
But see, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know all about your home and everything. But I'm just saying it in a broad sense. But I'm not judging any of you for the way you do it. But I'm just bringing those things out that, could make you think maybe of something else. Just like Carolyn was bringing out something before, and she was saying, the person, this is the way I felt and all, and I felt this way. So that was like, made me sensitive to that one. You see, Carolyn?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I'm just saying, you'll see there'll be more, and it's very, because there is hope, everyone. There's hope in the world, no matter what you see. There's hope, and light can win over darkness. But we have to, with our free will, choose to make that happen. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So all of you here have very great energy. I could feel strength. I could feel strength that you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Evie wouldn't be saying, "Oh, Rosemarie, could I help you?" Even though she's gone.
Evie. Yeah.
No, I know. She's at Rosemarie's house, right?
Yeah.
So
she's at Rosemary's. I'm there right now. Yeah. Evie's so funny. Evie says, you've never seen that. I've been away with Evie. I've met Evie in person, right? And I've said, I've never seen her mad. And she said, Carolyn, you've really never seen me mad? And I said, no, I never have. And anytime when we were away, every time I would look over, she had this huge smile on her face. No matter where we were, she would have this huge smile on her face. And I would say, I can't even imagine her. She'll even say something like, oh gosh, today you wouldn't believe this. I was carrying this huge tray of this expensive china and it fell down the stairs and it broke to bits. And she'll be laughing. She won't even be
really?
Yeah, she's
God.
She'll always make it into a joke. You don't even think something happened because I've never seen her go like this. What?
Yeah, but Carolyn, remember what she said? She says, I feel fragile inside.
Yeah, but she doesn't show that. She always, anytime something even happens,
So that
she'll always
means
make a
that
joke
Evie-
of it,
Evie- That means that Evie needs support,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rosemarie, I just wanted to come up and say hi before
Hi,
you
Anna.
leave.
That's
I didn't know if you were leaving now or what, because somebody in the chat, your son said bye.
Oh, he was saying bye to somebody.
Oh, okay. I thought I have to come up and say hi to Rosemarie. I talked to you before too on here. I don't know if you remember. But I love
tell me-
listening to you,
tell
and
me-
I'm going to buy
tell
you a
me-
book.
Tell me something, remind me. Tell me something about you.
I was up here with my daughter, and she lost a child, and my other daughter has lost a child. So I don't know if you remember that. It was a couple of years back.
And you came to
Like
my house?
Carolyn, 3
Yeah,
years
she
ago.
came on
maybe?
here the first time you came on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
you
I
know,
was I've been listening some to the stuff you were saying to Carolyn and stuff.
mhm,
And you're so wise.
mhm.
You really are very wise. And I'm going to go back and listen to that for myself,
Okay.
you know? And I'm going to get your book after Christmas. Can't wait to read it. You said there's like a lot of enlightening things in the book.
It's very it's like it starts with dark, and then you see the light and the light and the light and the light and the light, and you see Joan's light, oh, and all the way at the end, and you see this big light, and then you're going to see some amazing things that happen that are beyond comprehension. Yeah, yeah. Something that happened at the site where Joan was found. But I'm not going to tell you everything.
Right,
I'm
right.
not telling you everything.
No, I don't want to know until I read it.
Amazing things. Amazing. More than amazing.
And buy
It's
it,
like-
and if you want the book, you should get it on
You remember,
Jones
John?
Joy.
You
Go to
remember?
jonesjoy.org and get the book, and then Rosemarie will sign it for you.
And then you also save $30.
Yeah, save money when you buy it right on the site, jonesjoy.org.
Okay, all right. I'll do that.
JonesJoy.org. You save $30 from Amazon, and then John sends you the book, and to send you the book is $9. So you save $21.
Okay,
And then we have soft and hard. So soft is close to 50, and then hard is close to 60.
And then
You know,
the
to-
proceeds also go to Jones Joy Foundation to support the foundation.
right. I'll be getting one or the other, you know.
Where do you live now, honey? Where do
In
you live?
Indiana, up close to the Chicagoland area.
I see. Yeah.
Remember I
Yeah.
told you my granddaughter Amelia? She's the one that passed recent a few years ago. And then before that was my grandson Jared, he drowned. So I've lost 2 grandkids.
Oh.
So, you know, but you sounded so I don't know, you gave me such a
There is hope, honey.
good feeling.
You have something in you. Each of us have something, you know, that
Right,
you see what happens is people don't we need to acknowledge each other more. You know? Us we do, you know, but people need to acknowledge each other more. People don't see like all the good qualities and the good in themselves. Because they're always hearing the negative and so used to that. And I really think the word acknowledgement is very, very important. Acknowledgement. Just think about acknowledgement as compared to no acknowledgement. What does it do to you, right? Doesn't it make you happy? Doesn't it give you hope? So you know what you have to do, guys? This is what you got to do. If you don't get it, you give it to yourself. Okay? You give it to yourself. God gives it to you. Spiritual gives it to you. And you have it. You have it all the time. You have it all the time.
Right.
And then, but you don't stop doing it to somebody else just because they don't give it to you. You know? You don't be like a Pollyanna, but, you know, if there's something that you really, you know, should be saying, you say it. You don't stay back because they agree.
right.
Then that's why it doesn't happen. That's why it doesn't grow, because people do that. Well,
I
I'm not gonna
heard
do it.
once, I
I'm
heard
not doing
once,
it. Yeah.
I heard once in a group or a book that once you acknowledge it, that all these memories will come back. So many,
Beautiful, right? Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You know, I got a note today, a very long one, from someone from the Philippines. And she said, you know, I have some pictures that are my favorites of Joan. I never thought of that. And what are your favorites? She said to me. I had to think about it, you know. And her favorite was a picture I don't even remember seeing. I don't even know where she got it. So I said, oh my God. So I was telling John, and John says, that's cool. So I said, John, what's your favorite? So he said, oh, I like it when John was dunking for the apples. That one, and you know, like at Halloween.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and mine, I like her 1-year-old picture very much, because that's just going to show, you know, the type of person she was going to be. And then also the last one, her last birthday, when it was like another posed picture. She was just there in her party dress, because she had a party that day with her friends, and she had gotten the Miss America, and the expression on her face with that Miss America doll.
Oh, is it the Barbie doll thing?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, I know that picture. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that picture. That picture, I like a lot. Because she's probably thinking, I'm going to be Miss America someday.
I actually saved a picture of her on my phone. I fell in love with this picture. She's wearing a blue dress with the white lace collar.
Does she have a white beret?
White beret, her hair. Yes.
About 4 years old? Oh, that one?
Aw.
Oh, see now, even that one.
Just
That's what you did. You took a picture of Joan. Wow. Let me see the picture again, because I'm gonna look for it. Was that like a posed picture, or is that Christmas, or what?
She's standing with, I guess, her brother. I'm not sure who that is. Standing next to a little.
Oh, if you get a chance, send it to me. Oh, that's beautiful that you love. See, everybody like, so she's from the Philippines. I get this big letter, and she's doing that. So I said, what a wonderful way, you know, so that you talk about that memories, you know, what a wonderful way. So maybe that's what we could think of for each of our children or grandchildren or mom and dad missing that, aren't here with us in a physical way. You know, is what pictures do we like of them the most? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right? And then ask our kids or ask, your family. So somebody brought that into my head. I didn't know, into my head.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Absolutely.
You know, hope, honey, hope. Because the darkness is easy to go into. And, you know, darkness gets us into war. And innocent people dying, children.
I stepped into darkness, but I stepped right back out of it, because that's not where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I let myself go there, and I put on the brakes as fast as I could and got out of there. And I have.
How did you do it? What did you do?
I just snapped out of it. I can't continue to think about my daughter. She used sign language. I can't keep telling myself, what was she doing? Was she making the sign mom when she was dying? I can't do that. I can't feel guilt, because I had no control over that. She was at work, I was at home. I had nothing to do with her death besides having her, because I did have her and I did have the measles. So I hold certain guilt inside anyways. But like I said before, even if my doctor would have known the date that I had the measles and told me to terminate, I would have never terminated my pregnancy. She was my daughter. She was going to be with me. And but I know way down deep inside I feel some guilt for that, but I can't let myself do that because I wouldn't have changed it, and I wouldn't have changed anything. If it came to having her or not having her, I wanted her. No matter what was wrong with her, I wanted her. But I think I feel
Yeah,
so
that's
bad.
really love. That's real love.
Yeah, I just
Beautiful.
feel real bad that, you know, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had that. But if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had life, period. So I
You didn't
can,
do it on purpose, though.
no, God, no.
No.
And I think of it like not a test, but I feel sometimes that God gave her to me the way she was because I could handle her. I'm telling you that the same friends that told me, "Oh, you're so strong.
Yeah.
How do you do it?"
Mhm.
They told me that we were at a gathering and my daughter was just totally flipping out, like having bad behavior, spinning around on the floor. I couldn't grab her. She was kicking and hitting. And my friends that said, "How can you be so strong?" They didn't once help me grab her, help me hold her down. I did it myself.
Mm.
And I noticed right then and there that I don't know if they really mean that I'm that strong, or how can I be so. I couldn't see my friend going through what I was and telling them, "Oh, what a good job you did. That how can you be so strong?" I
And
would
not
have
do
jumped
anything.
right in there and helped them.
Yes, yes.
I needed help, but I
You
wasn't
needed,
asking.
yes, do something.
Yeah,
do
I
some-
didn't ask for it because that's my daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know as I go through my therapy, I'll get to that part, and that part has been coming up a lot lately with me. The feelings that I have of in that dark place, and I'd like to get that wiped out of my mind because it's not healthy. You could kill yourself thinking about what if this, what if I'd have done that. You can't do that. And I do laugh a lot. I do make a lot of jokes, but I think I see the same thing in my son. My son has a lot of problems, but he was always overweight. Now he's just a big man. But when he was younger, he was he was fat, and the kids used to make fun of him and stuff. And he was always the jokester. He always laughing. But I think it was because he didn't want to cry. That type thing. He was making everybody else laugh so he wouldn't cry. And I think that's what I do. I try to be funny or try to tell you jokes or try to make you feel better because I don't want to cry. If that makes sense, I don't know.
Yes, it makes sense.
I think a lot of it has to do with forgiveness too. I think we all hold some guilt in some way. And I think forgiveness of ourselves is one of the most important things.
Yeah, that part I never really went in there, and I never even thought of it like that. I need to forgive myself for what happened
Absolutely.
to her. As little or as much as I had to do with it, I need to let go of that.
Definitely.
Thank you. I will bring that up with my pastor also.
Good.
I
And
think
you're in
that,
California, and
Yeah.
then you're in Indiana. Yeah. Well, maybe you'll be in her house someday too.
Well, we do. We all went away.
No, but
We all went in one house and stayed in one house for almost 2 weeks.
No, but I'm kidding. She's in
Oh, because of Bevy, yeah, because
So
she.
go to Indiana. So you go to Indiana.
Yeah, because you were at Rosemarie's.
You go
earlier.
to everybody's house.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we were all together last summer on vacation.
there were 12 of us
Yeah.
that we never, well, not all of us, but some of us, myself included, hadn't met any of them yet, only through online for the last 2 years. I felt that I knew them well enough to leave my house and go fly to South Carolina and meet with them in a house. And my people from church said, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" And I did. I felt so comfortable. I felt I knew everybody.
well, that was very, that shows like, Carolyn, her guiding hand. you know?
Yeah, well, she didn't come the first year. She came the second year. I guess she wanted to make
Oh,
sure everything was
well,
okay the
you
first year.
Caroline, you had got, you had
It
got.
was
I was
awesome.
the first year, so I came back the second.
Yeah.
Same here. Same here.
Are there any other of you, 'cause I'm going to be going, maybe in about 15 minutes, that would like to say something that I could get to know you? Because I'm here just, to talk about food.
Cynthia, did you want to say anything? Because you've been quiet.
No, I just want to thank Rosemary for being such a source of strength and inspiration, and to let her know on my Christmas tree, very prominently displayed, is the little green star that represents Joan. So I think of her when I see that on my Christmas tree. And, thank you, Rosemary.
Cynthia,
I think so many people
Cynthia,
are
why
going.
don't you come over sometime?
Well, you're so far away. I think it's 2.5 blocks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my
I mean, you could
goodness.
walk.
I could.
Come on your bicycle.
After the holidays, for sure. I would like to come over.
If it works, if you're not busy.
Wouldn't that be great to live 2.5 blocks away from Rosemary?
It would be.
Oh, no, you won't, because, oh my God. Then I'm going to drive you dizzy. I'm drive you dizzy.
I just want to
Here.
thank you for being here, and I've suffered a loss, and you're so inspirational to me. And I'm sick with grief about your loss, and it's really something that I can't describe the way I feel. And
You remember,
are
Joan is dead physically, but
yes,
she's alive in every other way.
I understand that.
I know it's the way she died, yeah.
Yes, yes.
That, sometimes you wonder, God, where were you? But then God, we don't know. It's a mystery, God is a mystery.
But thank you for
And
being
you don't-
here.
We don't ever get to meet somebody who's went through that. Like, this is my first time ever meeting somebody who's went through that. And you have such strength, and you're just so wise. Like she said, you hit the nail on the head every time you say something to me.
You feel like you're speaking, it feels like she's speaking to you individually in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's why I like to speak even to 2,000 people, you see. And when I speak to all the people, it's like I'm speaking to
Each and every
Emily,
one of us.
to Carolyn, to Linda, to Elle, to John. That's the way I feel like when I'm speaking to everybody. Like I'm speaking to each person. And then I'll look at your face, and I'll see something in your face. And I go, oh. And then I'll try to say something. Yeah. But it's fascinating. It's just so fascinating. I mean, people are, I'm so glad I'm one of, because I hear people say, oh, people are just trouble, they're good for nothing and all. And I say, I said, what do you want to do, live in the desert or something? Like nobody around, Because what they're doing is saying that and harping on all the negative things about people.
Right.
And there's a lot in the world, you see.
Yeah, a lot of people, and sometimes it can feel like that, right? Sometimes it feels like the evil's winning, and it's like, what the heck is happening, right? So much stuff.
I have a friend, she's a good friend, and she just can't feel a hope,
Mm-hmm.
and and she just always so,
I mean, I think Joan's death actually changed my childhood, because I was a brownie when Joan was murdered, and I was local to you.
Me too.
I lived in Norwood. And
you lived in Norwood?
Yeah, growing up.
Wow.
And when that happened, it was no more bringing Girl Scout cookies to houses by yourself. We had to team up. We had to go in pairs.
We had a special book.
I'm sure that saved lives.
Yeah.
I remember that change that. I
Oh,
remember
she saved a lot of lives.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's that's why maybe, she was picked.
Mhm.
She was picked, and maybe that's why I was picked. To
Right.
be my mother. Yeah, because we're a lot alike. I write the book, but she's really writing the book with me.
Right.
A lot of times when I am talking, she's talking, with me, and we're a lot alike. But I mean, she's much better. Oh my God! But I just, I understood her a lot, and I was a teacher, right?
Yeah, I found out some stuff about you that I didn't know when I was reading the book about,
Yeah, I was
your
a special
education
ed
and all of that stuff. Yeah.
And
I didn't know
I
that.
did not know.
I was going for my master's at Fordham University, and I was not a straight A student, but yet I got a fellowship, and I did not know that I had all these different things about me, because you'll see. I mean, I was abused as a child. Yeah, it was very, very confusing. But because of what happened to me, I have a lot of, I want to help the children, not have to go through that.
Make
So
sure
it's
you
what
are
we do,
today.
and, as much as you can. Because not everybody is going to have the faith I have. Not everybody's going to have the same type of personality that loves people. And, it's so hard. And it was hard for me. It has ramifications throughout your life. And so, I guess God knows what He's going to pick, There's a job to do.
That's what I feel.
There's a job to do, there's a job. And so that's why I might be like, Michael had the cold, then John got some of the cold. Then that's where my asthenia works the worst, because each one has a difference. So with me, it's the respiratory. I'm very allergic, I could pick up something, infection breathing, whatever. So it looks like they're on bed. It looks like if you came, you say, oh gosh, and then I get better, not like, super better, but better. So I said, see, I have to do the work to do. Got the work to do. And thank you.
Well, there's always one thing that we have
And then
to
I say to
remember.
God, could you make it easier? Well, I don't know. What's the one thing? Go
Well,
ahead.
there's always one thing that we have to remember. Light makes the darkness disappear.
Yeah. But that's perfect light. That's perfect light. That's like 100% light.
Mhm.
Now, as human beings, I don't know. There's, in society, as individuals, there's always going to be some darkness, because that's what we work against. We don't, we try to always have light, right? In our choices and all, right?
Right.
But people
So to
like
get it
inside of
100%,
us.
I don't know, maybe only God 100% light,
But there's also a light inside of us,
Oh yeah,
in our hearts.
oh sure. Do you feel the light? You feel light? Don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
And where is your light?
It's in my heart.
And where is your heart?
In my body.
Oh, where though?
My whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
Hmm?
Is it in your nose?
Yeah.
See? Oh, okay. Oh, I'll touch your nose. I'm gonna come and touch your nose.
I'm proverbially talking about my heart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
it's
I
everywhere.
think sometimes when I think heart myself, it's heart right here, right?
Mhm.
Right? But the heart could be all over, like you said, it's all over.
Well, there too.
Yeah. It's there's been quite a bit of reviews on the book. You can check it out. It's really interesting. But not one review pertaining to how I got this purpose to do this. Like to start that way, we're always looking for hope. And it was those days. So we will see. I don't know, maybe they don't want to mention about faith because they'll think it'll turn somebody away. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to mention about the Girl Scouts because the Girl Scouts, they talk about darkness, what they did, you know, because then it gets political. They think it gets political.
Yes.
But it's very, very, but it's like, you can tell about the book so much with reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We sold about 90 books, and I have 200 books altogether I bought at the beginning. So I still have 110 left. And we haven't started promoting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because the documentary also that took place, the
When
premiere.
is that? When is
So
that?
they-
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
they
when
did-
is the documentary? They did it, we saw
They
you
did it. Oh my God, she was so good. Oh my God. I'm
Was
going to
it on
tell you,
Netflix?
people were, when she talks about the choking, they went, oh, like that. When they talk about the first war that we got through, oh, yay, they're all clapping. When they talked about when he died, the day he died, I was clapping. Oh my God. But I don't even remember that part. But at the end, they just clapped and clapped and clapped. And there were 4 films that were shown. And A Daughter of Mine is the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And by Vanessa Martino. And it looks like a film. It wasn't like
Where are they going to put it on? Are they going to put it on Netflix
well,
or anything?
Okay, this is the way it's going to be. She's going to, we're going to have a small showing of it, probably in March at my house. Then there's going to go in a festival in April, and she's going all over the United States. So I don't know exactly where it will be, but then her goal is to get it on HBO.
Oh.
And now she does freelance work for HBO. You know, and she's young.
Mm-hmm.
It took 5 years.
Her name is
5 years.
Vanessa.
5 years to do this. What? The what? The what?
Oh, what was her name? Vanessa
Vanessa Martino.
Martino.
And she was born in Hillsdale, the same town. Mm-hmm. So 5 years ago she started it. And to see this, you see this big screen, and you had to get John to, wow, he said the hard stuff. And I didn't know what they said, my son said, because they were interviewed private. You know, you don't stay there when they're
Right.
interviewed, because you can't, every sound gets in the way,
Yeah.
even if you're breathing. So I go, oh my God. Oh, no, he was really good, John. John, does blood of the work. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that John did that so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just there. I was just full of happiness. Yeah.
I have that.
You'll see it. Some way or other. Like maybe what we could do, we see all over the United States. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could do it at my house, but you couldn't do that. No, it's too much money for you to come here. You know?
I'll be there.
What?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
You'll be there. So it's different. There's all these things. All these things. But all of you now. Just remember that, all this loss and all, they're with you. Every single way, except this,
Mm-hmm.
and really, the main part of a person is not the physical part.
Yeah.
It's what's inside. And there's a different name for that. One of the names is soul. That's really the essence of a person. And that was that our loved ones, that's living.
Yeah.
That's why there's the spirit. That's why there's hope. That's why you start getting a new law through. That's why you start, you write a book, or you do painting,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
writing. I want to write a book too. But and I am writing
It's a lot
one
of work,
book.
honey. A lot of work.
I know, but I've already
Work.
started on one book. I have a couple of books I want to write, but I like to write, and it's something I do. I started as a blogger,
okay.
so
Yeah.
I've already started on one, and I have another one I want to write. But I want to tell you a funny thing before you go about signs, right? Sandy always tells me that I get signs, but I am a hardhead and I need a neon sign. I want a neon sign is what I want, okay? So I don't just want a fleeting cardinal or a butterfly. It has to, I'm just, like, oh, that's nice, but how do I know, right? So one day last year, I was driving on the highway and gonna get off my exit, and there was I said to Ray in like my head, I don't know if I said it out loud, I was in the car alone, that you know what, I'm feeling low, I need you to send me a sign that you're okay, that I'm gonna see you again, like all this stuff. So on the side of the road there was a billboard and it was about Jesus, and I said to him, no, that's good, but that's not good enough. I said, that's not good enough, not at all, right? But I didn't think much of it, and I pulled into Walgreens. And I go into Walgreens, and I had to go back to the pharmacy section, and I was just looking at stuff, and I saw this man there, and he looked kind of like Santa Claus, but I thought he was with this woman. I thought it was his wife. And I said, this guy's a joker, because around his neck, he was wearing like something you would put inside a wreath, like a wooden board with a rope around his neck, and it said, I love you. Now, I go, why? He's a jokester. He must have just got that out of the thing, and he put that on to make his wife laugh, right? But I'm looking at this woman that I think is his wife, and she's not really talking to him. And I have to wait around, so they call him up to the counter for a minute. He's wearing this sign, and I'm thinking, like, nobody's looking at this sign. Like, nobody's thinking, like, this guy, like, why does this guy have this sign on? And then, as I sat there, I said, oh my gosh, that's my sign.
Oh,
okay?
God.
It said, I love you. And I said, this is crazy. My son would do this. My son was a jokester, too. And so I took a picture of this man, because I said, nobody's going to believe me that this guy was wearing this big I love you sign in Walgreens. And it was just the craziest thing. And then when I told people about it here, they go, Carolyn, maybe you're the only one that saw this guy, because they said he looked like Santa Claus. And they said, did anybody else see him? And I said, well, they called him up to the counter, and they said, but come on, he's got this huge sign on that says, I love you, and nobody's
Who
really...
wears signs like that?
Yeah, right? And I just said, but wow. And it took a few minutes to hit me that was my sign. Like, you think I would got it like that, right? No, I'm thinking, like, why is this guy wearing that sign?
Amazing.
Carolyn,
You
you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I'm going to say good night.
Okay.
And, email to me. If there's
Yeah.
anything
Yeah, and anybody here can email Joan.
that you
Email
need.
Joan. I always do that.
Yeah.
Rosemarie.
If I have more time. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is there something? Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, and appreciate it. And you'll have to come back again real soon after the holidays. And you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and
Thanks.
all that stuff. And thank you so
Now,
much for coming on.
let me see all the names. Bucky and Carolyn. There's no one there
That's
you.
Evie. Evie's Binky.
I'm Binky. That's
But
my
she's-
name.
Okay, now Evie. Evie, is that Evie?
Yeah, she's Binky
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay, and here's Cynthia.
Yeah.
Cynthia. And this is, of course,
Debbie.
Debbie.
Wait a minute.
And who's that? Who's this?
L. over
Oh,
there.
Elle. Oh,
Elle.
She was
She
in
has
the
love
middle.
in her heart.
And then Sharon, who's not, yeah.
Okay, Sharon, she said at the beginning she was going to listen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, honey.
All
Well,
right.
Thank you so much,
Cynthia,
Rosemary.
I'll be seeing
Yes,
you.
thank you.
And then, Evie, I'm gonna have to make some meatballs. Oh, Evie, yeah, Evie, Evie, guess what? You know what? I know what's, I like the way you spoke about, I love it that you said that, about you felt fragile inside, but yet you're showing all this because that's you, fun too, that's you. But you get fragile inside, all right? So that's a
Yeah.
good thing, honey. And that takes strength. That takes,
Thank you.
okay, a lot of strength. All right, bye, honey.
All right, bye.
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 Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Okay.
See you
I put the
soon.
decoration on the tree.
Thank you.
I put the
Okay,
decoration.
thank you.
And I have the other one on my desk.
Oh, okay, good.
And I wear the necklace and the pin I had on, and I just have to fix the thing because the little stick came out. But I just
Oh.
have to glue it back. or else
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
work tonight.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
John,
Bye,
Rosemary.
Bucky.
John.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Bye, Elle.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, that was nice.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and then we're gonna go to, now we have to go talk about those crazy Adelsons, after this.
What a difference.
What a way, right? But thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. And again, go to jonesjoy.org. I'll put it down here. If you want to buy the book, if you want to look at the book, if you want to see how the events they have for their foundation.
Get yourself a book, just like that.
Yeah.
I want that book.
Get a
want
book,
that
just
yeah.
found
To their
Yeah.
YouTube.
I opened it up and I found
Your YouTube
$140 in here in my book.
You did?
Uh-huh. I did. I don't remember putting it in there. I know she didn't put it in there.
No. Now everybody's gonna be like, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna get $140 in my book.
Right here.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh my
maybe
goodness.
that was my bookmarker for that night. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh my goodness.
I'll take care of some of those bills I owe.
It's like, I took out my phone, I was like, yeah, actually, I did save a picture of her. I saw that picture, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I saved it, because I actually wanted to draw a portrait of her.
I thought you were
Wow,
going to
really?
say that.
I
That'd be
definitely
That would be
wonderful,
so
Becky.
beautiful.
I always save things that I want to draw. I keep it on my phone so that when
It
I get,
reminds you of that.
Was that in her book?
Picture of her
Bucky?
daughter.
Well, somebody, because this picture comes in the book, Bucky. This, it's like, see this?
yeah.
It's Joan and then Rosemarie.
Aw,
And it's kind of like a scrapbook kind of one. And then on the back it says this. May you be aware of your light each day and what your light can do.
Oh,
But she looks just
Nice.
like her. Her daughter looks just like her, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
them both.
oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
She really does. She's beautiful.
She is.
Hi, John. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, John. Merry Christmas.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the money, John.
John. John, you forgot my $140 in my book. Oh my goodness.
I'll order it now instead of after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I needed that. I needed seeing her the last couple days.
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
I was missing out on that.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know how often I think that they used to do prayer group the once a week. Now I think they do it once a month. So we'll let you know when the next one of those is.
Yeah, that was
and,
nice too.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
nice. And,
Oh,
but, so yeah, I'm going to redirect us over to let me just change, I got to put your redirection in there. But
See, and I didn't even go bowling tonight.
you didn't go bowling.
No,
You're not
Good,
gonna-
you didn't- this.
You're not going to go?
no,
Okay.
no.
Why not?
Well,
Oh,
believe
because of
this.
this.
Believe
This.
this or not,
Yeah.
her
Right.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend called me on Sunday and asked me, "Can you do me a favor?" And I thought, well, why should I? And I said, "Yeah, what is it?" He goes, "I want to ask you to go bowling with us. I want to surprise Marianne." And I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, we'll pick you up at 6:30. So we went yesterday or Monday.
Oh, you went Monday.
whatever. Sunday we went.
Oh,
And,
Sunday.
we had a good time. Yeah, had a good time. And I was
Today's
happy that-
Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday.
yeah.
We're not
Yes.
live, right?
Yeah, we are live.
We are.
Yeah, why?
I want to tell you something
Oh, okay.
personal.
Okay. Don't do it on a live. No, seriously, don't do it on live though.
Not
Now,
now,
you
El.
need to send me
No,
your
I
new
want to do it
address.
now real quick.
No, but we're live right now, Elle.
It's live. What are you gonna do?
Elle, we're live.
Oh,
We're
okay.
live. Turn your camera off.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Oh, but Evie, look, I got your things today. You probably sent these a long time ago and thinking, why didn't Carolyn say anything about them? I just opened them today.
Mhm.
No, isn't that one turned out good? I thought.
Yes, it's very good, very cute. And then I got your sticker and then the angel that you gave me. But I just opened them today. Oh, and the dish towel. Don't go baking my heart.
Yeah, so it hasn't been that long ago.
Well, it's a long time ago. It's been here a long time.
It couldn't have been
my
because I didn't do
gosh.
those towels that long. But
Well,
anyhow,
the other
I'm
one
glad
was
you
here.
got it.
The other one was here a long, long time.
I don't have my glasses on right now.
Yeah,
And at the chat,
yeah.
I thought it said that screen name. I thought it was Adelson's, but it's Fiddle Dee Dee.
Oh gosh, hi fiddly dee.
Like what?
Earth angel,
Fiddle dee dee.
fiddly dee.
Yeah, for some reason, I guess Adelson's on the brain.
Oh yeah, have
Me
you listened to
too.
those calls?
Oh yes,
Oh, how come you haven't been on discussing them?
because I'm just
Jesus.
listening.
Did
to
you
them.
know that she wasn't even on the
17.
phone with Charlie when she said all that stuff? She was not on the phone.
Yes.
How? But I don't even understand how that could happen because his
They
phone.
said that she didn't hang up.
Right, she didn't hang up, but
Right.
why wouldn't his phone have disconnected?
It's something about the way the jail does it, I guess.
That's so weird. And how would she not have known she didn't hang up?
She didn't.
That was so crazy. And who was she talking to? It was like two different people.
Well, one was her husband, right?
Right, but then she said to somebody, I've told Harvey our family is cursed. Did you hear when she said
I don't
that?
know. Yeah, I don't know who she was talking to. Boy,
That was- that
they have no hearts at all.
That was crazy.
Nothing. Void.
Everything's about them.
They had everything and they just, oh my gosh.
I know, and the kids are young.
And then she's like, I have one son I don't talk to. I have one son that's dying. And I have one daughter that, what'd she say, doesn't care or something?
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. I forget what she said about the daughter. But I'm just going to
Wait,
bring
Carolyn,
us.
you're not on yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to bring us over there.
Oh, El could have told
Okay,
me.
we'll see you there.